Chapter 1, Continuous Surprises. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In the early morning light, a handsome young man stared at the envelope on his desk. His name was Adam Lee, a mixed-race kid, and tomorrow was his 11th birthday. He'd planned to start the day with a run, like always. But a fat, round-faced Scottish owl had shattered his peace. Scratch that, it shattered his life. His original plan was simple: study hard, inherit his mom's 7 Chinese restaurants and his dad's 3 French ones, stay healthy, and live a normal life. Now, staring at the school crest, a lion, snake, badger, and eagle surrounding the letter H, Adam pictured a noseless bald dude crashing his future with a creepy hee. He'd just remembered that he and the Harry Potter were born in the same year, 6 days apart. Meaning, if this letter wasn't some elaborate prank, he was starting school the same year as the boy who lived. Too bad this world didn't have any Harry Potter novels, which meant, barring any unforeseen circumstances, he was about to spend 7 thrilling years at the safest magic school in the world. First year, Voldemort tries to steal the Sorcerer's Stone. Second year, a basilisk is loose in the school. Third year, Dementors patrol the grounds. Fourth year, they inexplicably restart the Triwizard Tournament. Fifth year, Umbridge inflicts physical punishment on the students. Sixth year, the headmaster gets offed. Seventh year, Hogwarts becomes a straight-up war zone. Wow. Just peachy. Hey, Mom, how's business? Yeah, I miss you too. Listen, I was thinking about maybe going to junior high in China, or the States, or France. Basically, anywhere but the UK. I'm not crazy, Mom. I'm perfectly stable, mentally. Haven't told Dad yet. Yeah, I'll wait until you get home. Adam hung up, opened the envelope, read the familiar wording, and sighed. If he'd been born 7 years earlier or later, Hogwarts would have been his dream school. He'd be jumping for joy right now. But now? Maybe he could teach there for a year after college, just to look around. His parents got home faster than expected. His mom, Ms. Lee, tossed her bag on the sofa and went into family meeting mode. His dad, Mr. Reed, hustled in after parking. Honey, if you're feeling stressed about school, we can definitely take a year off. We know we always praise you for your grades, but we don't love you because of them. You're our pride no matter what. Don't feel pressured. Things are slow at the restaurant right now. How about we go to Disney World? That they'd clearly talked about this in the car, because they both seemed convinced Adam was cracking under the academic pressure. Mom, Dad, it's not about school. Adam held up the Hogwarts letter. It's about this. He wasn't hiding the fact that he was a wizard. He just wasn't going to Hogwarts. There were other magic schools. His mom was Chinese, his grandmother was French. He could go anywhere, and it would still be safer than Hogwarts. Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. His parents exchanged confused glances. Was this some kind of joke? Wait. I think I've heard that name before. Mr. Reed frowned, racking his brain. Had a Ministry of Magic memory charm malfunctioned? Just as Adam was wondering, Mr. Reed snapped his fingers. Aha! It's that fairy tale my parents used to tell me. Dragons, magic, all that stuff. Sounds like your grandparents set up a birthday surprise. Lost in nostalgia, Mr. Reed continued. When I turned 11, they said they had a surprise for me. It ended up being a big 3-layer cake. I wonder what they have planned for you. Adam gaped at his dad, a dawning realization on his face. He might know something. Maybe I should just call them and ask. Even though he had a good guess, Adam needed to confirm. Nah, don't do that. It's a surprise. They might be upset if we spoil it. Mr. Reed hesitated, regretting his slip-up. His relationship with his parents was complicated. They'd been super close growing up, and they'd been incredibly supportive when he started his restaurants, but they'd also asked him to move out the day he turned 18. Over the years, they rarely visited, just calling occasionally. I'm calling. I'm too curious. Seeing Adam's determination, his parents relented. Adam grabbed the phone, it was picked up quickly. "Jerry, what's up?" Grandpa Adam's voice boomed through the line. "Grandpa, it's me." "Oh, baby Adam. What can Grandpa do for you?" The sudden shift in tone made Adam even more nervous. "Grandpa, do you know about Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry?" The line went silent. Then, Grandpa's voice, practically vibrating with excitement, filled the room. "Hogwarts. You got the letter. Hot dog. I knew it. I've been waiting all month. Emma. Come on." A muffled shout, then Grandpa's voice again, clear as a bell. "Listen, kiddo, stay put. Your grandparents will be there soon." He hung up. Adam put the phone down, looked at his parents, and pursed his lips. "Grandpa said they'd be here soon." "Soon. But they're in Devon." Before Mr. Reed could finish, the doorbell rang, the three of them exchanged glances. Mr. Reed walked to the door and opened it nervously. "Mom? Dad? Oh, honey, we've missed you so much." The elder Mr. and Mrs. Reed enveloped Mr. Reed in a hug, then brushed past him and went straight for Adam. "Sweetheart, show us the letter." Mr. Reed, still standing at the door, blinked. He felt loved briefly, and then, gone. Ms. Lee handed the letter to her in-laws, noting that Adam hadn't mentioned the letter on the phone. If it was their surprise, they'd know about it. But their arrival suggested they'd rushed to the neighborhood beforehand, just to set up the surprise, and the phone call. What was that about? Wonderful, wonderful. God bless. The elder Reeds examined the letter and envelope. Suddenly, the elder Mr. Reed looked up. "Say, have you told your father-in-law about this?" Seeing Ms. Lee's confused face, the elder Mr. Reed nodded. "Okay, I'll call him and give him the good news." Adam's brain short-circuited. What other surprises were in store? Chapter 2. I want to escape but I can't. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Dad. How come I've never heard of any of this? Adam's grandparents, quick as ever, used the Ministry of Magic's international channel and arrived at Adam's place before lunch. Meanwhile, Ms. Lee, who had been introduced to the wizarding world by the Reeds, was fuming now that her own parents had arrived, even though her husband wasn't involved with magic at all, dismissing wizards as something from fairy tales. He'd at least heard of them before confirming that Hogwarts hadn't sent an acceptance letter. How come I knew nothing about this growing up? Adam's grandmother started asking Adam about family stuff, so she had to turn to her father. We have a different way of checking if a kid has potential than they do in the UK. When the kid turns 1, we mix objects with magical energy in with their toys. If the kid's got the knack for it, they'll naturally be drawn to the magical items. Adam's grandfather threw up his hands. When you grabbed that golden abacus and didn't even glance at the wooden sword, copper coins, or jade pendant, we knew you weren't cut out for magic, but you sure had a head for business. You and your siblings are miles apart when it comes to making money, but you're the best. Ms. Lee was speechless, then frowned. What about Adam, though? Sure, he was born in England, but didn't you test him when he was a baby? Didn't you put that magical stuff in front of him? We did, but he grabbed a book that didn't have any magic in it. Turns out he's a bookworm. It wasn't like you when you were a kid. We asked you to read and you would climb the tree to get away. Dad. Ms. Lee's cheeks flushed. Ahem, well, I distinctly remember that the book had no magic, so Adam shouldn't have the talent for it. Is the standard different over here in the UK? Li Zichuan stroked his chin, suddenly wondering if they had overlooked anyone else in the family who might have had potential. Maybe. Anyway, it's great that Adam got the Hogwarts letter. It means he's got what it takes to be a wizard. Old Reed clapped his hands and looked at Adam. Grandpa will take you to Diagon Alley tomorrow to get all your supplies. But tomorrow's still. Grandfather. Grandma too. Hold on a second. Adam suddenly spoke up, quieting the room. I don't want to go to Hogwarts. Needless to say what the grandparents thought, Adam's parents immediately thought of their reason for coming home. What? Why not? Before they could process it, old Reed interrupted. You want to stay a muggle? The old wizard grabbed his wand, ready to show his grandson. Actually, there's nothing wrong with being a muggle. Adam glanced at his parents. I just don't want to go to Hogwarts. There must be other schools to learn magic, right? Why? Old Reed was even more surprised, a little hurt even. Hogwarts is the best wizarding school in the world. The other three grandparents who didn't graduate from Hogwarts exchanged glances. Don't get so worked up, you're scaring him. Grandma Emma flicked her fingers, and old Reed was pulled back onto the sofa by his belt. Then, Emma took Adam's hand. Honey, there are other magic schools, but why don't you want to go to Hogwarts? Well. Adam hesitated. I just have a bad feeling about it. Hogwarts doesn't seem very safe. With Dumbledore around, Hogwarts is the safest place for magic in the world. A scarf wrapped around old Reed's mouth as if it were alive. Emma frowned. Quiet. If Dumbledore was all-powerful, our family wouldn't have moved to China. Adam's grandmother, Emma, was originally from France. After the attacks organized by Grindelwald, she moved to the UK, where she met old Reed. After they got married and had kids, they moved to China for the sake of their squib son. Adam's parents met around that time as well. She knew that even if Dumbledore could fix things, it didn't mean everyone would be safe. At the same time, she didn't dismiss her grandson's feelings. Adam had always been smart and wouldn't say something like that without a reason. It wasn't unusual for wizards to have a strong feeling about the future. Grindelwald, who ruined her home, had been gifted with prophecy. Still, Emma frowned. The Book of Admission and the Quill of Acceptance make a final decision. It's ancient and powerful magic. Since you got the letter, it means your name was written down at birth. It's unlikely you can go to another magic school. Adam was stunned. He hadn't thought of that. What about transferring? I can enroll but not go, then transfer to another school. I haven't heard of anyone doing that, but we can write to Dumbledore and ask. He's going to be your headmaster. Even as she said it, Adam knew it wouldn't work. The magic in the book was probably difficult to work around. How about a leave of absence? Say I'm not feeling well and need a few years. That's even worse. If you don't channel your magic correctly at the right age, you'll hurt yourself and might attract something dangerous. Seeing that Emma was hesitant to crush Adam's hopes, Grandma Shindarong spoke up, glancing at Emma. She's right. Young wizards don't know how to control magic. You could have a magical meltdown. It's very dangerous, and we can't teach you this safely and comprehensively at home. Oh, okay. Adam sighed. He had to accept that he was going to Hogwarts. The good news was, once he learned a spell, he could control magic, and then he could ask for a leave of absence after the first year. The first year at Hogwarts was safe. Avoid the trapdoor, Professor Quirrell is still safe. The Weasley twins even survived throwing snowballs at Voldemort. Then, don't write to Mr. Dumbledore. If he couldn't change things and brought Dumbledore's attention to himself, Adam might face dangers he would have avoided. Okay, let's reply to Hogwarts. We'll take you to Diagon Alley tomorrow. It's full of magic. You'll love it. Emma patted Adam's head, seeing the worry on his face, and made a secret decision. Chapter 3 The Sealed Book. Horcrux. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Like they say, man plans, God laughs. Before the next day even rolled around, Adam's grandparents had to jet back that afternoon because of some emergency overseas. Kiddo, take this and stay safe at school. Before leaving, Grandma slipped a jade pendant around Adam's neck. And this. Grandpa pulled out a thread-bound book and handed it over to Adam. This is that book you snagged when you collared Joe. I stumbled across it. Since you've got a knack for cultivation, this old family heirloom might just have something to offer. After a few hurried words, the two elders took off. You'd almost think they apparat, the way they disappeared. Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you. Right after midnight, the family gathered around a big cake loaded with fruit and whipped cream, singing their hearts out. The cream dollops on the cake were even clapping and dancing, thanks to Grandpa's little spell. Adam closed his eyes, making a wish as they sang, Sanching Taoist Patriarch, Jade Emperor, Western Guide, Jesus Christ, Allah, Master Meilin, give me a break here. Whoever decided to give me a second life, you didn't just bring me here to die young again, right? I'm not asking for superpowers or anything crazy, just let me live a normal life, please. Phew. Opening his eyes, Adam blew out all the candles in one big breath, filled with hope. Alright, time for bed. Tomorrow, scratch that, we're hitting up Diagon Alley today. Grandpa winked mysteriously. You're gonna love it. Okay, Grandpa. Even though he knew Diagon Alley was coming, Adam couldn't deny he was itching to see it, to see the magic world. So he nodded eagerly and headed upstairs to his room. Phew, feels like a dream. Back in his room, Adam realized how much had happened that day. He got a letter from Hogwarts and found out his grandparents were wizards, or maybe Taoist priests, something like that. They didn't really explain. After running on adrenaline all day, now that he could finally relax, Adam felt beat, lying in bed, tired but not quite ready to sleep. He got this urge to crack open that book he supposedly caught Jojo with. Whoa. As soon as his fingers brushed against the cover, Adam's vision exploded with blinding white light. He squeezed his eyes shut, rubbing them hard. His eyes stung and watered, but thankfully, they didn't seem seriously damaged. No lingering burning. Relief washed over him. Going blind would be a disaster. Are you the contractor? The sudden voice made Adam freeze. He snapped his eyes open. The white light was gone, and nobody was there. Who's there? I'm here. Adam's eyes darted around the room. He paused, then said to the empty air. Is someone talking to me? Here. To your left. To your left. As Adam gently placed the book from the bedside table onto the quilt, his slightly trembling voice regained a semblance of seriousness. Ahem, let's try that again. Are you the contractor? Looking at the book in front of him, which had completely transformed from the old thread-bound volume, Adam's expression flickered with recognition. He felt like he'd seen this book before, if he remembered right, that cartoon, Cardcaptor Sakura. Or more accurately, Cardcaptors, the English version. Back when he was a kid, glued to the TV, that show had definitely made an impression. In that case, could that voice just now be? What contract are you talking about? I am the guardian beast of the Cloud Book, the greatest magic tool in the world. Sign a contract with me, and I can make you a powerful magician. So it really was the Cloud Book. Alright, what's the catch? Adam lowered his voice, playing along. When I recover my true form, you will give me at least 3 sweets every day, comb my hair for an hour, and play with me for an hour. Ow, that sounded like he just got smacked. Don't be ridiculous. You're ruining my image. Another voice, equally youthful and energetic, piped up. Adam's brow furrowed. The first voice definitely sounded like Caro, but the second didn't sound like you. And why was the Cloud Book from Cardcaptor Sakura showing up in the world of Harry Potter? Ahem, sorry, I was a little out of line just now. The second voice interrupted Adam's train of thought. Its formal tone was a far cry from Caro's over-the-top performance. Let me reintroduce myself. I am Spinel's son, and the guy just now is Kerberos. We are the guardian beasts who protect the Cloud Book and the Cloud cards contained within. Spinel's son, huh? But wasn't Spinel supposed to represent the sun and Western magic, just like Caro? Did he change his gig now? Hello? Hello? Are you listening? Huh? Oh, sorry, spaced out for a sec. I'm a little overwhelmed right now. Adam snapped back to reality, looking at the Cloud Book in his hands. So, you guys are stuck in this book. Do I need to open it to let you out? We're definitely in the Cloud Book, but you can't open it yet. You need to sign a contract first. Otherwise, the power within the Cloud Book won't recognize you as its master. Not recognizing me as the master, that meant the Cloud cards would go flying off on their own, right? What does the contract say, and how do I sign it? The contract says. Spinel went through the contract details, one by one. In a nutshell, all the power in the Cloud Book would be at Adam's disposal. All Adam had to do in return was supply the magical energy needed for the sealed beasts and the Cloud cards to exist, and promise not to abuse the Cloud cards or the sealed beasts. Without Adam even asking, Spinel took the initiative to explain the origin of the Cloud cards. It was pretty much as Adam remembered, magical items created by the powerful wizard Cloud Reed, blending Eastern and Western magic. I see. Adam nodded, bundled the Cloud Book in a quilt, set it aside, and started to get up to leave. Wait. Where are you going? To ask Grandpa and Grandma. Adam glanced back at the Cloud Book. I need to rule out the possibility that you're some kind of illusion conjured up by this book to trick me into signing a contract. Or soul fragments hiding inside, trying to get me to give up my life force or my soul. Good thing he was careful. He hadn't touched the Cloud Book directly since it showed its true form. He used his sleeves to handle it and placed it on the quilt. Why would you think that? Hold on, they can't see it. Only those with true magical talent can see the true appearance of the Cloud Book. Ever since Cloud Reed put us on that bookshelf, nobody's ever discovered the secret of the Cloud Book. We can't just show ourselves and find someone to sign a contract because of our agreement with Cloud Reed. For years, you're the only one who's discovered the true form of the Cloud Book. If you don't sign a contract with us, we'll fall into a deep sleep after our magic runs out. Who knows when we'll wake up again? And with that, Spinel started wailing. I get it. Adam nodded, then turned around and headed downstairs, without a second thought. Grandpa, Grandma. Chapter 4 Cat, Shy, Covers Face. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Alright, kiddo, lights out, sleep tight. Okay, Grandma. After Grandma closed the door, Adam set down his milk and stared thoughtfully at the sealed book. His little test confirmed it. Grandma couldn't see the sealed book's true form or even hear Spinneroo's voice. Believe me now, Spinneroo sounded tired, wondering why this kid was so cautious. Talking takes a toll on our magic. So, before you overthink it and we're tapped out, let me explain how to sign the contract. If you still chicken out, at least jot down the method and keep it with the book. Spinneroo's voice grew weaker with each word. He couldn't tell if it was exhaustion or genuinely dwindling magic. Hey, don't you guys have wands or something? Adam was now 90% convinced about the sealed book, okay, maybe 70%, tops. But he had no other way to check. He remembered Sakura having a sealing wand. Yeah, we have a sealing staff, but it's yours after you sign the contract. Sealed book, hiding the powers of darkness, I, Adam Lee, hereby make a contract with you. Following Spinneroo's instructions, Adam placed his hand on the book and recited the incantation. Honestly, the sealed book seemed legit so far. For his own safety, he might as well try it. After finishing the incantation, Adam felt a strange energy coursing through him. He seemed to see the words forming a contract, and when his name was finally imprinted, the contract fizzled. Huh. What gives? Spinel's and Kerberos' voices chimed in unison. Oh, I just wanted to see if there were any loopholes. Looks like you weren't lying. Adam cleared his throat, maintaining a poker face. Sealed book, hiding the powers of darkness, I, Adam Reed, hereby make a contract with you. Whoa. When the names bonded, Spinneroo and Kerberos sounded even more shocked. What? I did it right this time. No, it's nothing. Inside the book, Spinneroo and Kerberos exchanged glances. Was this the key to unlocking the book? Crorido really took the charity begins at home thing to extremes. From now on, you're the clown magician we serve, and we'll assist you with all our heart. And I'll summon you guys ASAP. After signing, Adam learned that the sealed book was running on fumes. The two guardians barely had enough juice to maintain even low-power forms. He also learned their attributes, Kerberos representing the sun and western magic, and Spinner the moon and eastern magic. Opening the cover came naturally. Inside, a stack of cloud cards lay nestled, with the sealing staff resting on top. Adam picked up the golden sealing staff. Has the sealing staff always looked like this? The staff's appearance morphs with the contractor's magic. That's Clorido's old staff of darkness. It was Kerberos who spoke. Looks like you and Clorido's dark magic vibe really well, Adam. Clorido's dark staff. By the power of the contract, reveal your true form. The key state head of the Rod of Darkness was a disk with the sun wrapped in a crescent moon. When it was fully liberated, the relationship didn't change, but the sun part enlarged, with only the center circle in the part wrapped by the crescent moon. Spikes of sunlight protruded through the crescent moon. Adam swung it, finding it perfect for close combat. The staff seemed to adjust its size after complete liberation according to his height, but the dark staff was still a head taller than Adam, but luckily the staff was slender and the proportions were still coordinated. Standing in front of the full-length mirror, Adam studied his reflection, pajamas and all, clutching the staff of darkness. Guessing the magician Kuro transformation doesn't include a wardrobe change. Bummer, time to try the cloud cards. Hold your horses, Adam. You're still too young, and your magic reserves aren't high enough to use the cloud cards willy-nilly. Spinner's voice drifted from the suspended sealed book. Magic grows with age, experience, and knowledge. Right now, you can only use one card a day, or things could get dicey. One card, does that include the nameless card? Adam's eyes scanned the cloud cards, but it was missing. The nameless card is still sealed. Even touching that card now would expose you to its magic. Even if it didn't want to, you'd vanish from this world. The Guardians weren't surprised Adam knew about the nameless card. Clorido's contract information spilled the beans, even they didn't know what all that was. The nameless card is emptiness, the antithesis of everything the other 52 cards represent. To use it, you not only need massive power but also need to condense the 54 cloud cards yourself. The 54th cloud card, Love. Love card? I know. Among the 54 cloud cards, only the Love card does not have, Why don't you continue asking? But Rubelosa's voice was a little tangled. I can't immediately gather the Love cards if I know more with my current ability, right? A smile flickered across Adam's face. But if you're willing to dish on love, I'm all ears, Xiao Ku. Hey, calling me Xiao Ku is a little. Hearing his voice, Adam couldn't help but have a picture emerge in his mind, cat, shy, covering face. Gif. Hee hee. Spinneru, can I call you Sibby too? Whoa. Another cat popped into his mind, and Adam couldn't help but look forward to life after the two cute creatures were summoned. Looks like animals other than cats, toads and owls aren't allowed in Hogwarts. Ahem, the love card isn't stored with the cloud cards because love can't exist in a vacuum. After a long pause, Xiao Ku finally found his voice. Everything eventually returns to nothingness, and only love can offset the void. Adam said with emotion, and as soon as he finished speaking, he felt a vague sense of power, hidden deep in his heart. People can't help but feel peace and joy. That's... Whoa. You can already sense the love card. Xiao Ku sounded anxious and regretful. Too bad you don't have the juice, or you could have seized the moment and condensed it. Chapter 5, Diagon Alley. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Hang tight, kiddo. The timing just isn't right yet. Your chance will come. Adam was cool with missing his shot with the condensed love card. He'd already gotten a taste of what it was like. Besides, even with the card, he wasn't quite ready to use it. Okay, so let's try. Adam, you still up? Ms. Lee's voice came from outside his door. Luckily, she respected their privacy and didn't just barge in. Guess it's okay if she does come in. It's not like he was trying to hide anything from his folks, just hadn't figured out how to explain it all yet. Yeah, Mom, just about to hit the sack. Adam glanced at the time and realized it was bedtime. He could mess with the Clow cards later, after their trip to Diagon Alley. It was weird, he'd been dying to get into magic, but now he was feeling pretty chill. Maybe he'd just had too much excitement for one day. Lying in bed, Adam was already making mental lists of what to buy in Diagon Alley, how to use the Clow card, and then there were Xiao Ku and Sibby. Ha! Sigh. Whether it was his imagination or not, Adam thought he heard a playful giggle and a helpless sigh right before he drifted off. Adam woke up the next morning, totally forgetting about the weird sounds from the night before. He was up bright and early, heading downstairs on autopilot. Morning, sweetie. Morning, Grandpa. Morning, Grandma. He took his usual seat at the table, greeting everyone. Just a light breakfast, you'll be pigging out in Diagon Alley soon enough. Reed Sr. said as Emma put a plate of bacon, eggs, and mashed potatoes in front of Adam. Seeing as Diagon Alley's a wizard hangout, I'm not holding my breath for the food. Adam mumbled, poking at the runny eggs with his fork. His dad might be British, but he owned a pretty successful French restaurant, which said a lot. As Misley would put it, British cuisine was so bad, you could practically taste the resentment of the ingredients. Wizards are different, kiddo. Diagon Alley's got tons of great food. Like. Old Reed started to argue, but all he could think of were things like fizzing whiz-bees and licorice wands, and his memories of actual meals were blank. Emma quietly slid a little butter and a few slices of toast into the pan, fueled up and full of anticipation. Adam followed Old Reed and Emma as they walked through the leaky cauldron and into Diagon Alley, waving his wand to open the way. Old Reed grinned. Welcome to the magical world, son. Technically, I already got a taste of it last night, but whatever. The bigger deal was that neither the books nor movies mentioned that the trash cans were still in use. Adam, a little germophobic, grimaced, but he plastered on a surprised smile anyway. Once he was actually in Diagon Alley, Adam's mood went on a roller coaster. At first, he was genuinely stoked by the random bits of magic he saw, but maybe he'd hyped it up too much. As he got used to it, he was turned off by the grimy vibe. The real Diagon Alley wasn't as shiny as Universal Studios or the movies. The streets were cramped, packed with wizards. Everywhere you looked, there were old stains and grime that hadn't been cleaned in forever. Just trash everywhere. Aside from the few stores that were clearly spruced up, and Gringotts, the place felt like it was stuck in the 1900s. I was half expecting someone to dump a chamber pot out the window. Adam griped to his parents when he got home. Do they even shower? Misley held back her prepared speech and asked the question everyone was thinking. Adam's face said it all. Does anyone here shower? After another wave of unpleasant odor, Adam tugged on Old Reed's sleeve and whispered the same question. Well, some of the older wizards are a little old school. They think bathing messes with their magic. But most people are pretty clean. Old Reed, who'd been so excited to show his grandson around, realized he wasn't as impressed as he'd hoped, so he hurried them along. First things first, we need to get you a wand. That's your real first step into the wizarding world. Adam's heart skipped a beat. He already had the Wand of Darkness. Would that mess with things? Welcome. Since it was the beginning of the school year, Ollivander was waiting behind the counter, ready to go. He looked up, spotted Adam, and saw Old Reed behind him. Emma had already headed to Madame Malkin's robes for all occasions. Ollivander's shop was tiny. Thousands of wand boxes crammed the place, so only a few people could fit inside. 12 inches, dogwood, unicorn hair. Ollivander seemed to have a knack for remembering every wand he'd ever made. He looked at Old Reed and sighed. Mr. Reed, it's been a while, hasn't it? Close to 50 years, Mr. Ollivander. Old Reed got a little misty-eyed, then clapped Adam on the shoulder. Help my grandson find the right wand. Yours are always the best. I wouldn't say best, but I guarantee it'll be the most suitable. Ollivander smiled confidently at Adam. So, young Mr. Reed, are you right-handed or left-handed? Right-handed, sir. Adam hesitated, unsure which wand he'd be better with, so when Ollivander pulled out his measuring tape, he asked. Can I use a wand with my other hand? Oh, you're ambidextrous. Very well. Ollivander nodded and started taking his measurements, finger length, palm width, arm length, even nostril diameter and head circumference. After a bunch of random measurements, Ollivander grabbed a wand and had Adam give it a try. Adam gave it a casual wave, and a sudden gale almost blew the roof off. No. Not that one. Ollivander snatched the wand back, waved his own to fix the mess, and then grabbed another wand. Try this. Adam gave it a slightly weaker wave, but the result was even worse. A huge explosion sent wand boxes flying everywhere. Protego. Boxes rained down on them. Luckily, old Reed's shield charm saved their butts. Adam checked things out. The explosion seemed to have just been loud, not destructive. None of the wands were broken, not even the boxes. That could have been expensive. Ah, such power. Unexpected. Let me think. Ollivander took back the wand and started digging through the mess of boxes. Try this. Boom. No. Try this one. Crack. Still no. Ollivander grabbed another wand, ran his hand through his thinning hair, and dove back into the pile of boxes. Chapter 6 Mysterious Grandma. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Half an hour ticked by in Ollivander's wand shop. Adam mechanically waved wand after wand. He knew he had to use both hands, switching if he was using acid in the other. He was already numb to the small explosions that kept erupting, which had annoying or even dangerous effects most of the time. Once, he remembered, a bouquet of flowers bloomed right on the wand tip. He kept thinking this one was it, but Ollivander insisted he was still wrong. Then, a wand felt different the moment it touched Adam's hand. As he waved this one, the surrounding wand boxes trembled, floated into the air, and neatly returned to their shelves. Adam felt a completely different kind of pleasure, like his body had gained an extension. That's it. Absolutely. Ollivander clapped his hands. 16 inches, acacia wood, phoenix tail feather, I knew it, asterisk yeah, right, star. Adam nearly choked, but managed to keep his mouth shut. He just rolled his eyes. He seriously suspected Ollivander just kept trying every possible wand combination until something finally worked. Ahem. This wand's combination is particular. That's why it took so long. Ollivander, realizing the selection had been a bit unprofessional, struggled to explain. Acacia wood and phoenix tail feathers are very selective, not to mention 16 inches. The last 16-inch wand I sold belonged to a half-giant. Adam figured Ollivander was probably just making excuses, but he was so excited to finally have his wand that he pushed aside his frustration about the weight and near explosions. He carefully examined the wand in his hand. The cylindrical, black-brown wand was slender and straight, with smooth curves and engraved runes. The handle was a spindle shape surrounded by symbols. Adam noticed the bottom was inlaid with a yellow gemstone. That gemstone is a yellow tourmaline I bought from a wizard from the east. It complements the wand's overall magic perfectly, and it's on the house. Ollivander spoke as if reading his mind. Well, for the sake of the gem, Adam's resentment lessened quite a bit. Asterisk so beautiful, star. Adam couldn't help but think after admiring it for a moment. 16-inch wands are considered extra long, and compared to Adam's dark staff, this wand seemed almost small. Adam even thought it was a little cute. After paying for his wand, the most important and nerve-wracking purchase, old Reed took Adam into full-on shop, till you drop mode, owl, snacks, cauldron, snacks, potion ingredients, snacks, school uniforms, snacks, books. Adam lingered in Flourish and Blott's bookstore for a long time, not to mention the various snacks from a stall a few steps away. He hadn't forgotten that magical growth was closely linked to knowledge, so he wanted to buy and read books beyond what Hogwarts required. Plus, he was curious about the wizarding world, especially the parts not shown in the original books and movies, so Adam signed an order for 2 feet of parchment worth of books, which would be sent directly to Hogwarts. Grandpa had said the house elves would take care of them. That's a broomstick. Freshmen aren't allowed to bring broomsticks. Old Reed hesitated. But if you want one, we can buy it and keep it at home for now. Nah, Grandpa. I'm not that into flying broomsticks. Adam declined an offer that would have been tempting for any other kid. You think a Nimbus 2000 is too expensive? Your grandparents are loaded. Mom and Dad gave me plenty of money, Grandpa. A Nimbus 2000 was expensive, but Mr. Reed and Ms. Lee originally planned for Adam to attend Eton College, which cost over £40,000 a year for 5 years. But Adam suddenly had to go to Hogwarts, which had free tuition. Ms. Lee had handed over the Eton tuition money to Adam without a second thought. A boy needs to have money, or he'll live a hard life. How can he broaden his horizons? Especially in a strange environment. I just can't take it to Hogwarts right now, so it's not worth buying. Maybe they'll release a new model next year. Actually, the next year would see the Nimbus 2001, and the year after that the Firebolt. The more he thought about it, the more they seemed like smartphones, and if Adam wanted to fly, he had a flying card from the Cloud Cards. He could just give the dark staff wings and it would be a broomstick, or give himself wings and fly directly. Why spend so much money on something that would be outdated in a year? The cards were the superior product, like a certain rich kid once said, "I'm rich, but I'm not stupid." After buying everything at one end of Diagon Alley and picking up Emma from the robe shop, Grandma took Adam to buy more things at the other end. Grandma's priorities were different from Grandpa's, that was for sure. Alan. You expect your precious grandson to wear one school uniform the entire semester? Old clothes, pajamas, and some dress robes. Isn't there a ball at Hogwarts? I can't imagine. No, I still have to buy them, just in case. Wands need care, or what if it breaks down mid-spell? Buy a few more care kits. Don't be stingy. You need more dragon hide gloves. Some potion ingredients are best handled with separate gloves. And if your classmates forget theirs, you can lend them some and build good relationships. Prepare more potion ingredients, and buy extra essence of Dittany. Carry a bottle with you. If you get hurt, you can treat it immediately. The nurses in the medical wing can't teleport directly to Adam, so shut up, Alan. After buying 2 rounds of food and using snacks as lunch, Emma looked at all the packages they had. Then, she looked at old Reed. Alan, you take this stuff back first. Adam and I are going shopping again. Old Reed struggled to pick up all the packages. A huge birdcage sat on top, with a snowy owl inside. Okay, you guys have fun. Are you coming back for dinner tonight? Maybe not. Emma answered quickly, making it clear she wouldn't be back for dinner. Okay. Old Reed nodded and walked away. Why didn't Grandpa just use magic to carry the luggage? Emma looked at Adam in surprise. Magic requires focus. It's easy to have accidents when you're casting spells and doing other things. Don't do that in the future. Is that so? Adam nodded thoughtfully. Is Grandpa just too weak? After lunch, Emma wiped her mouth and took Adam to a secluded corner. Grandma? He asked. Why are you being so mysterious? Hold my hand tight. Adam gripped her hand as instructed. The next moment, he felt like he was inside a narrow, pipe-like slide. After being squeezed for a few seconds, he burst out of the pipe and onto a patch of grass. Ugh! Adam's face paled, and he felt nauseous. That was apparition, which lets you move quickly from one place to another. It's not easy to get used to at first. Take a few deep breaths. Emma stroked Adam's back, then leaned over and whispered something in his ear, which Adam realized was an address. The next moment, to Adam's surprise, a crack seemed to appear on the grass in front of him. Then, a small house with a garden squeezed out of thin air. This is extremely powerful protective magic. Don't ask questions yet. Come with me. Emma took Adam to the door of the small house and knocked gently. Chapter 7 Ding, you have triggered an epic quest. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Seeing the wooden door, Adam gulped, asterisk this whole thing with the red bold loyalty curse, what am I getting into, star. Asterisk grandma, are you setting me up with some VIP or something, star. Creak. The door slowly swung open, revealing a pale face behind it. The guy was so white, he looked like he'd just risen from the grave, especially in those pure white silk clothes. Adam stared in disbelief. Oh, Emma, I was so happy to get your letter. The man said slowly, his eyes shining. It must have been, years ago. You wrote saying you were going to China, and then radio silence. And this must be Adam. He reached out a trembling hand, waving. Come in, come in. Don't just stand out there. Adam sat on the sofa and swallowed. Grandma, who is this old guy, asterisk why does he look like that old-timer from the movie, star? He's a family friend, Grandma said, her expression complicated. Her vague words only made Adam more convinced his hunch was right, asterisk seriously, Grandma? You've got connections like this, star. Emma, come chat for a bit, a woman's voice called out. Emma looked surprised, stood up, nodded to Adam, and hurried upstairs with her. I hope you like French black tea. The old man shuffled over with a tray holding a teapot and several cups. I got it. Adam saw his shaky hands and thought he might spill something. But the old man waved him off. That's nice of you, but the magical world is more helpful to us old folks than you think. The teapot suddenly floated up on its own, glided to a teacup, poured, then moved to the next. A cup of tea then floated over to Adam. I don't know if your grandmother introduced me. I'm Nico Flamel. Your grandmother is the daughter of an old friend. Adam fought down his shock and nodded. I'm Adam. Adam Reed. Yes, I expected as much. Nico Flamel smiled. Alright, let's get down to brass tacks. After the tea was poured, Nico Flamel looked at Adam. Your grandmother told me in her letter you have a feeling something bad's going to happen at Hogwarts, and that's why you don't want to go, right? Yeah, but I don't know if, can you help me? Adam's eyes lit up. If anyone can, it's this guy. Even with the Clow card deal, Adam still didn't feel safe at Hogwarts. It just gave him a slightly better chance of defending himself, asterisk Clow cards are from shoujo comics, after all. Not exactly heavy-duty combat stuff. Voldemort made his name by killing people, star. If you're talking about transferring schools or something, I can't help you there. The light faded in Adam's eyes. But I can give you this. Nico Flamel pulled a button out of his pocket. It's a portkey. A portkey? Yup. A magical device. Use the right spell, and it'll teleport you straight here. Nico Flamel pointed at the floor. It's the quickest way out of Hogwarts. And this place is protected by powerful magic. Only Emma, my wife, Dumbledore, and I can get in. Dumbledore's the headmaster at Hogwarts. I assume you know that? Yeah. Adam frowned. But I don't know how to activate it. I don't even know any magic. If I could see when you'll be in danger, I could program the activation time. But no such luck. Nico Flamel looked at Adam intently. But I do know that something unpleasant will happen at Hogwarts. If you're really in danger, you need to learn how to activate that thing before it happens. Learning magic is the best option. Adam clutched the button. Okay. What book can I learn this magic from? Learning magic from a book is risky. I found you a teacher. Nico Flamel handed Adam a letter. Give this to Dumbledore. He'll guide you. We're pretty tight, and he owes me a favor. And I need you to do something for me. Nico Flamel stood up, walked to a shelf, picked up a red gem, and put it in a bag. With a casual expression, Nico Flamel handed the bag to Adam. Give this to Dumbledore too, personally. Got it, asterisk ding. You've triggered an epic quest, escort the Philosopher's Stone to Hogwarts. Possible side events, Death Eater attack and Voldemort's hunt. Reward, 0 star. Even though he was mentally preparing himself, Adam couldn't help but gulp. But aren't you good friends with Dumbledore? Why not give it to him yourself? Or have him pick it up? Please, have some compassion for us old folks. It's not easy for us to get around. Nico Flamel smiled. Adam knew not to ask how Nico Flamel knew about the Philosopher's Stone. It was probably best to let the subject drop. Adam couldn't exactly say no. After all, he technically shouldn't know about the stone. And now that Nico Flamel was providing a portkey and a safe house, what reason did he have to refuse such a simple request? Okay, I'll make sure Headmaster Dumbledore gets it. What is it? Adam asked. I thought you'd never ask. It's a Philosopher's Stone. Technically, it should be called the Philosopher's Stone, but Nico Flamel used magical stone, as if he didn't want Adam to know too much. Crap, it's actually happening, star. But isn't it supposed to be in Gringotts, then taken by Hagrid to Dumbledore, star. How could he give it to a kid? Wait, star. Adam wondered, who's more reliable, a kid or Hagrid? Adam couldn't believe he was carrying a stone that could make people immortal and turn base metals into gold. Adam, you're back. How was Diagon Alley? Back in their room on the second floor, Xiao Ku and SPI in the sealed book were already bickering. Suddenly, Xiao Ku seemed to notice something. I sense a huge amount of magic. A lot of magic, this. Adam touched his pocket and pulled out the bag with the Philosopher's Stone. That's it. A crazy amount of unowned magic, the Philosopher's Stone. Where'd you get that, Adam? Xiao Ku knows about the Philosopher's Stone, right. Xiao Ku is a sealed beast representing the sun and Western magic. Given Clow Reed's experience as a great magician, he might have actually seen it. Adam remembered, that guy could even travel between parallel worlds, star. Too bad, star. Xiao Ku, someone asked me to deliver it. Don't get any ideas. Especially with how fierce these two are. It's easy to forget that Nicholas Flamel, who's been guarding the Philosopher's Stone for over 600 years, probably knows what he's doing. Well, but with the Philosopher's Stone, we could solidify our bodies and move around, and we could use gone cards. I really want some cake. Xiao Ku said reluctantly, sounding like he was chewing something. Dummy, don't you have a double card for that? Chapter 8 Copy in Pairs. The second method. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Day in and day out, are you guys even taking the Clow cards we're dealing with seriously, or are you just messing with your Gone and Bubble cards? Sibby's lecture was punctuated by a crackling sound and a yelp of ouch, ouch. Sounded like Sibby just gave Xiao Ku a meow punch. Man, I wish I could see this, but that's not the main point. The real issue is what Sibby just said. The double card. An image popped into Adam's head. Twin children dressed in clown costumes. Clow card images generally fall into 4 categories: characters holding elements representing card abilities, animals with card ability characteristics, and objects that inherently possess the abilities. Most of the character-based Clow cards feature a single figure. The double card, however, is unique in showing 2 people. Its effect is also quite special. It can create 2 identical copies of something or someone. Unless the magic is dispelled, the copies will remain for a full day, but, can it really duplicate the Philosopher's Stone? And even if it could, would he have enough magic to create one in the first place? But with my current magic, there's no way I could replicate a Philosopher's Stone, right? Adam voiced his doubts. The double card's magic isn't about copying things, Sibby said, the sound of meow meow fist finally ceasing. Adam, have you ever heard of parallel universes? Adam. Imagine the timeline of a world as a line moving forward. Every time a possibility for change arises, that line branches off in every conceivable direction, creating parallel universes. Even a grain of dust caught in the wind generates countless parallel universes. But most of the time, these possibilities don't create enough significant divergence to stabilize these parallel universes. So, after a while, they converge and merge back into a single line. Sometimes, people have conflicting memories of the same event. That's because of overlapping memories from parallel universes. The double card doesn't simply copy an item. Instead, it pulls an existing version of that item from a parallel universe that's about to converge with our own. Once the item's original timeline merges, the magic becomes permanent. The Philosopher's Stone is a potent source of magical energy, but it's not unique in the sense of parallel universes. You can absolutely duplicate it using the double card. Atom. Forget the pseudoscientific explanation of the Mandela effect. Sibby's explanation of the double card completely changed Adam's understanding of it, and really, of the Clow cards themselves. He'd thought it was just a simple duplication spell, but it turned out to be like something out of sci-fi. Come to think of it, the Clow card settings have always been pretty complex, but his preconceptions had limited his understanding. The creation of the Clow cards incorporates elements from nature, playing cards, tarot, the 4 alchemical elements, the 12 constellations, and the Bagua and 5 elements. It's truly a culmination of Eastern and Western mysticism. Clow Reed, the creator, was a powerful magician capable of traveling to parallel worlds at will. Yuko could grant resurrection and stop time and space, and he could extend his youth for centuries through his own power. It's just that Clow Reed never seemed to use the Clow cards in battle. Sakura, his successor and the star of a shoujo manga, mainly uses them to save people and rarely shows off their full power. Because of all of this, even when Adam made the contract with the Book of Sealing, it was more out of a sense of more power is always good than any real understanding of how potent the Clow cards could be. Don't limit your knowledge and imagination, Adam, Sibby added, as if sensing Adam's thoughts. Magic is a mirror, projecting your mind, will, and soul through magical energy. Magic determines only the power of the spell. What makes magic truly versatile and all-powerful is your heart. You should not only explore the principles of the Clow cards that you don't understand, but you can also modify them according to your own ideas after fully understanding the Clow cards themselves. Thanks, Sibby. I get it. Adam finally understood. He'd been too narrow-minded, lacking a true understanding of the Clow cards. Now, it seemed, their potential was far greater than he'd ever imagined. Just the double card alone held the potential to conjure items from parallel universes. What about the others? He could explore the Clow card's potential later. Right now, the immediate priority was key that conceals the power of darkness. Summoning the Staff of Darkness, Adam paused and looked at the sealed book. Sibby, can I change this incantation? That while darkness itself wasn't inherently good or evil, the incantation could easily be misinterpreted. Nope. It's part of the contract, Xiaoku chimed in this time. But while you can't change the spell, you can just skip it altogether once you have enough magic. Ah, that's great. The sealed book floated open, turning to the page for the double card. Release, that he placed the sunburst spikes on the double card. The twin elves in clown costumes broke free from the seal, jumping out of the card and landing on the ground. The twins looked nearly identical, except one had pink hair and the other blue. When they bowed, one used their left hand and the other their right, like a mirror image. Can't you talk? It was Adam's first time summoning an actual Clow card spirit. He looked at the twins, who were almost as tall as him, with curiosity. Only a few Clow cards can talk. Clow was a quiet person, after all, Xiaoku explained. I see. In that case, please conjure a second Philosopher's Stone. Adam handed the Philosopher's Stone to the double card. The twins went to work. A flash of white light later, 2 Philosopher's Stones lay in Adam's palm. Whoa! Even though SPI had said it was possible, seeing the double card actually produce a second Philosopher's Stone still amazed Adam. Can you make more? The double card looked at Adam and nodded. Whoa! Golden light flashed in Adam's eyes. Adam, making too many Philosopher's Stones is not a good idea. There is no essential difference between 2 Philosopher's Stones and one, and once exposed, it will easily cause trouble. Besides, you can't use the Clow cards too many times in one day, SPI cautioned. Huh. But I already have a Philosopher's Stone. Adam put one of the Philosopher's Stones back into the bag Nicholas Flamel had given him, holding the other in his hand. Can't I use the magic of the Philosopher's Stone to power the Clow cards? Unfortunately, no. Xiao chimed in, pouring cold water on the idea. The sealed book's contract prevents anyone or anything but you from using the Clow cards. However, if you learn the magic within the double card and cast it yourself, you could use the magic within the Philosopher's Stone. Oh. So, I could make a copy of the Philosopher's Stone. Well, it's still useful for turning lead into gold and creating elixirs of immortality. Adam sighed. Chapter 9 Differences between Wizards and Mages in Casting Spells. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Don't sweat it, Adam. Even if you can't use the Clow cards directly, the magic from the Philosopher's Stone lets you carry the sealed book and staff around. Caro, now with a real body, flopped onto his back and stretched his paws, trying to cheer Adam up. Let me teach you how to tuck away the book and staff, so you can summon the Clow cards whenever you need them. After that, Caro sat up and smoothed out his feathers, which were a little ruffled from his acrobatics. This is a type of sealing magic, so it's not a walk in the park. But because of the book, the staff, and your magic contract, it should be easier. Before school starts, you absolutely have to. But before he could finish, Caro saw a complex magic circle flash in Adam's right hand, and the staff vanished. Then, not long after, the same circle flashed in Adam's left hand, and the book disappeared too. Caro was speechless. Looks like you've got a real knack for magic. Spinel's son, stretched out on the bed like a sleek black panther, gently fluttered his butterfly wings. If that's the case, you can learn all the magic in the Clow cards in no time. I'll give it my best shot. Adam practiced summoning and sealing the book and staff a few times. Once he got the hang of it, an idea popped into his head. Could I put my wand away too? A 16-inch wand could be a pain to carry around. If he could store it using this magic. It should work, but I'm not positive. Spinel's son closed the book he was reading, hopped off the bed, and bopped Caro on the head. I skimmed through your textbook, and this magic system seems weird. Then again, maybe I'm just not familiar with Western magic. Ouch! Caro glared at Spinel's son, grabbed Adam's textbook, and started flipping through it. Let's see what this little first-grade textbook can do, huh? Caro's eyes went wide, and he frantically turned a few more pages, refusing to give up. No, what is this? Is this really magic? Where are the magic circles? Where's the principle of magic? After reading all of standard spells, elementary, Caro had to admit that he was totally baffled. You just wave your wand in a certain arc and say a spell. That's not magic at all. Caro stared at the textbook like it was some kind of heresy. It looks like magic to me. Pretty magical, actually. Adam, having successfully stored away his wand, took the book. He remembered Hermione knowing how to fix something at home, and Spinel's son said that since he had a talent for magic, he should learn some basic spells. Magic might look magical, but it's incredibly precise. A magician might seem like they're just waving their hand, but they're actually performing very complex operations on the magic itself to complete the spell. Spinel's son grabbed 3 books, Beginner's Guide to Transfiguration, Intermediate Transfiguration, and Advanced Transfiguration Guide. He opened each one to a different page and showed them to Adam with his furry fingers. These 3 types of magic, transforming objects, vanishing spells, and permanent transformations, belong to completely different fields. The first is transformation magic, the second is space magic, and the last one should technically be alchemy. Sustainable magic is impossible unless there's another source of power. Spinel's son looked up at Adam seriously. The classification, the spellcasting, it's like a bunch of people who don't know magic just saw a magician wave a wand and chant a spell, so they wrote it down and assumed that was how it worked. It's all just guesswork. The worst part is, this is a textbook, which means it should explain the entire process of casting spells. But I can't find any trace of a magic circle anywhere. Maybe they'll teach that after you enroll, but I suspect this isn't the world we started in. At first, Adam was focused and curious. But at the end, he realized, this isn't your home at all. Maybe we really did fall into another world. Adam murmured. The wizard's ability to cast spells comes from their ancestors intermarrying with magical creatures, not from any actual research. That's probably why the spellcasting and the classifications of these magic spells are so primitive. It also seemed like only a tiny number of wizards even studied magic. For most people, magic just stayed at the level of learning and using it, and most of the spells they created were accidental. Thinking about this, Adam figured it was probably correct. After all, the magic from the Clow cards worked, which meant that magic circles were applicable. In comparison, the way wizards cast spells was a little wild. You're saying that's where it comes from? That makes a weird amount of sense. Blood instinct might not require a high level of understanding to use a spell. But it sounds a little messed up. Spinel's son looked shocked and a little scared, since according to this world's classifications, they would be considered magical creatures. Wait, we're not in our original world anymore. Caro exclaimed, throwing his hands over his face. His golden hair stood on end. Then my cake is. Adam, do you have cake here? Yep. Adam nodded. And other sweets, and this magic world probably has sweets we've never even seen before. Adam grabbed some crackling honey candy and shoved it into Caro's mouth. Caro instantly turned into a tiny, energy-saving version of himself, licking the candy, which was almost as big as his head. Whoa, this honey tastes special. I've never had anything like it. This world is awesome. It's probably made from the honey of some magical plant. Adam stuffed one into Spinel's son, who at first resisted, but then got smaller and started eating, rolling around on the bed like a cat on catnip. Looking at the two cute creatures, Adam sat cross-legged, picked them up, put them in his lap, and grabbed standard spells, elementary. Let's set a small goal, learn to fix something before school starts. There's nothing wrong with bloodline spellcasting. At least it's simpler than magic circles, and I don't have to figure out all the whys and hows. First, I'll master this world's magic, then figure out the principles. Perfect. Touching Caro's head and wings, pinching Spinel's son's paws and tail, Adam lost himself in the book. Chapter 10. He is just a little badger passing by. You are listening at novelfull.audio. September 1st, 1991, King's Cross Station. Remember, be careful on the train. And write to Grandpa. Mr. and Mrs. Reed handed Adam his luggage and watched him board the Hogwarts Express. Got it. Bye, Grandma and Grandpa. After waving goodbye, Adam patted his suitcase, picked up his carry-on bag, and walked down the aisle, finally finding an empty compartment a couple of cars down. Phew. I was starting to feel claustrophobic. As soon as Adam stowed his luggage and sat down, Xiaoka's head popped out of his pocket. Thanks for holding tight, Xiaoka, Sibby. Adam scooped up Xiaoka and held him, scratching him under the chin. Xiaoka instantly narrowed his eyes, purring. After teaching himself a few magic spells he could pronounce, he was afraid to randomly learn anymore, afraid that he would make a mistake in a syllable and summon a cow, so he started learning the magic in the Clow cards. After all, he had the Sorcerer's Stone, and he could cast any magic he had learned regardless of the consumption. Now Xiaoka and Sibby had been imbued with the magic they learned from the magic cards and harmony cards. To everyone else, Xiaoka and Sibby just looked like two kittens, and all they heard was meow. I still can't believe wizards have to take the train to school. Sibby climbed out of Adam's other pocket, flapped his wings, flew to the table, and watched the students and parents saying their goodbyes through the window. Hey, Xiaoka, I just want to double-check. Can the shield magic really block the sorting hat? Don't worry, Adam. The shield is protective magic, both physically and spiritually. Xiaoka shook his wings as Adam rubbed their base. To break through the shield, either the caster has to lose their nerve, or the attacker's magic has to be way stronger. Otherwise, the shield's protection is unbreakable. Adam sighed in relief, he'd almost forgotten about the sorting hat. He had too many private thoughts. Sure, the hat probably doesn't use legilimency on students, but what if something went wrong? Finally reassured, Adam relaxed, pulled a book from his backpack, and started reading. After an unknown amount of time lost in his book, the compartment door slid open. "Hello, is it okay if I sit here?" "Sure, nobody's here." Adam looked up from his book, and was speechless when he saw who it was. Wasn't that Hermione? Wow, she actually looked just like she did in the movie. Was the plot going to follow the movies? There weren't many differences between the novel and the movie, but there were still some, especially in certain details. Hermione didn't notice his momentary distraction. After getting a yes, she hauled her luggage inside, sat down across from Adam, and let out a long breath. The school really needs to do a better job guiding people to Platform 9 March 4th. I found the location before, but I couldn't figure out how to get through. If I hadn't seen people running into the wall. Hermione's eyes widened when she spotted the book in Adam's hand. "Oh, are you an older student? Are you reading this year's textbook?" "I'm a first year. I've already read all the textbooks, but I don't recognize that one." "Actually, I'm a first year too." Adam held up the book so Hermione could see the cover. 100 Household Charms You Must Master. What's that? Some everyday spells, like cleaning and repairing. Like the mending charm. I saw it in Standard Book of Spells, Grade 1, and tried it on a glass at home. Hermione looked around, as if searching for something to practice on. The mending charm is a good all-purpose spell, but you sometimes need to adjust it for specific situations. Adam turned the book so Hermione could see one of the entries. Like floors corroded by potions, or cleaning gowns requires a more delicate approach than just general cleaning magic. Wow! I never thought about that. Hermione's eyes lit up. Wait, what's the name of this book again? 100 Household Charms You Must Master. Okay, got it. Oh, I've been missing a lot. There are so many books at Flourish and Blots. I shouldn't have just bought the textbooks. Hermione looked annoyed and like she wanted to run to Flourish and Blots right now. Oh, by the way. When I was getting on the train, I overheard a freshman talking about the sorting ceremony. Do you know what that is? Adam started to answer, then paused. I'm not really sure. It seems the parents and older students have a sort of agreement not to talk about it. He wasn't trying to hide anything. He just knew if he told Hermione about the sorting hat, he'd have to explain the houses. If Hermione knew about Ravenclaw beforehand, there's no way this top student wouldn't end up there. Even if the sorting hat recognized Hermione's bravery, if she wanted to be in Ravenclaw, it would probably put her there, then the trio would be incomplete. Although some fans jokingly called Harry Potter Hermione and her two sidekicks, the trio was essential to defeating Voldemort. Oh no, prophecies in this world should be the kind that come true once they are made under the Western magic concept. Voldemort should still die at the hands of Harry or Neville, but the process had become too uncontrollable for Adam, who knew the plot. Before he got stronger, he should probably avoid getting too involved in the Chosen One's problems, lest he get burned. Thinking this, Adam gave Hermione a casual answer and pretended to focus on his book. Hermione sympathetically left him alone. After a few minutes, someone knocked on the compartment door. A sad-looking boy appeared after the door opened. "Excuse me, have you seen my Trevor? He's Huff. He's a toad. I can't find him." Huff. Hermione, ever helpful and a bit bored, immediately left the compartment to help Neville find his toad. Adam quietly closed the compartment door after they left. He was just a badger passing through. Savior, Voldemort, etc., Badger doesn't know.